Hello everyone. This brief video will review assignment 4.1, the assignment prompt. I want to make sure that you understand the different components that you'll have to work through in order to complete this assignment. I also want to review the due dates since this unit is slightly different. The major assignment for this unit is broken down into two parts. So assignment 4.1 is due on Sunday, July 24th at 11:59 p.m. And assignment 4.2, which is the last assignment you're going to complete for the course, is due on the last day of the course, which is August 4th, Friday at 12 noon. So make note of that. Most of, I think all of our major assignments were due at 11:59 p.m. But your final assignment will be due on Friday, August 4th by 12 o'clock p.m., which is 12 noon. Now I want us to look at the assignment sheet that's due on Sunday. And as I go over this, I want you to feel like you should email me if you have any questions. And there's also a good student example that is posted on Canvas. One of the examples is authored by me. I'm one of the authors. That was a group assignment that I completed where we actually ran a usability test. So hopefully you will find that helpful. And let's walk through the assignment sheet and the rubric. So this is the first part of the major assignment where you're designing a proposal. And in your proposal, you're requesting to design a website for a client. So yes, this means that your client will be fictitious. You're acting as if you're working for this client, convincing them that their website could benefit from by incorporating some improvements. You're proposing to test the website's usability, and then you're creating a lab report in which you describe your suggestions for website changes. So in this stage, you will create a proposal document for your client. And in this proposal document, you must complete the following. You must identify the site, and you want to choose a small-scale website, preferably from a local business, an academic department. In one of the lectures, I reviewed some that have worked successfully. I just want to stress again that these proposals work best if you choose a local website and one that you have some familiarity with. You, as a user, you'll know what works and what doesn't. And then as you ask other people, then you'll find out what doesn't work for them, and you'll either confirm your assumptions or you'll learn a little bit more. You'll confirm your experiences, or you'll learn a little bit more about what could be improved. You'll also have to identify users and purposes. Identify what the primary goals of the site are. So what do users hope to accomplish on this site primarily? And who do you think the target audience for the site is? And you'll also have to identify three main purposes of the website. So obviously I understand that websites attempt to accomplish several objectives, but for this proposal, you'll have to identify three main purposes, and you're going to test two of those three. And then you'll also have to create a user persona for a typical user of the site. Now, in one of the lecture videos, I also discussed user persona, so I just want to emphasize this again. So the user persona is purposeful, and you'll actually understand why you're creating a user persona. So the user persona is supposed to represent the target audience, the needs of the target audience for this website, and the different details and characteristics that you associate to this user persona should help you understand a little bit more about the user's needs. So make sure that you are purposefully attributing characteristics to your user persona. I appreciate the humor that was used in the instruction sets, and if you want to incorporate humorous characteristics as in these user personas, that works, but just think about how that idiosyncrasy of your user persona is going to help you develop a redesign for this website. So what about that idiosyncrasy that most of these users have will be incorporated in the website to help your target audience better understand the layout of the website and be able to navigate the website more effectively and more efficiently. Okay, so number 3, flaws. You're identifying the design flaws of the website. So this is why I say that you should have some familiarity with the design, with the website, because you're identifying aspects of the website that just don't work. So you must analyze 3 specific web pages, one of which will be the home page, and then 2 secondary pages. And you need to do this visually using screen captures and labels. So in your proposal, you'll include screen captures and label what isn't working or what you're discussing in the section, in the flaw section of what could be improved. And as you're discussing the flaws of the design, you need to describe them in terms of your target users and their goals. So what is your target user not able to accomplish, and how are they not accomplishing or meeting their goals because of the flaws that are included in the pages. And next will be the proposal, and you'll conclude by proposing that a usability test will benefit the client because improvements will be made to the website as a result of the usability test. And in proposing this usability test, you need to include the following. You'll need to have a scripted intro where you will write out the introduction that you will read to the user or participant that is going to help you run this usability test. And these are some of the questions that you're going to answer in the scripted intro. What are you going to say when the test starts? What are the demographic questions you're going to ask about the user? And when you're asking these demographic questions, make sure they relate to the purpose of the usability test. Like, how does the demographic question help you understand their needs and how they relate to their navigation of the website? What questions will you ask to gather data about the basic layout of the site? And this actually needs to be a written script that you will read. And in the sample on Canvas of a proposal, you will notice that there's a scripted intro. So review that so you can get a better idea of what those look like. So homepage tour questions. What are the basic questions you will ask to get your participant to start talking about the page? Keep in mind that these will have to be carefully crafted because many participants are hesitant to think aloud. So your questions should generate a think aloud method and should prompt them to feel comfortable enough to let you know what they're thinking as they're navigating through the website. And then design scenarios. Give me 2 scenarios as well as a description of the tertiary tasks that each scenario tests. Describe to me why the scenarios have been designed in the way that they have. So what I mean is that you will have, within each scenario, you will have a primary task that the user is being asked to complete. But under that primary task falls tertiary task or secondary task that must be met in order for the primary task to be accomplished. So what are those tertiary or secondary tasks that need to be fulfilled in order for the primary task to be accomplished? And then we'll scroll down here to the grading rubric. So 20 points you'll see can be earned for the site description. Make sure that the goals are clear, the goals of the site, like why it exists, what are the target users, what would users hope to accomplish from the site. Your user persona. And for this assignment, I am going to be a bit more, I'm going to review your user persona with a bit more purpose, so I could see that user personas were helpful in creating a more effective proposal. And the user persona that you create, make sure that you discuss in detail the average user of the site. So the characteristics that you attribute to the user persona make sense, like who they are, what they are like, why they are using the site. Think about how this site and your new site might be customized for their needs, interests, and aesthetics. And make sure that you include a description of the 3 different purposes of the site you're going to test. So what are the 3 accomplishments that you want your user to be able to fulfill? 20 points for your analysis of the website's flaws. So discuss the several flaws of the 3 pages of the site. Remember that one of those pages is the home page. Always keep in mind the "don't make me think" mantra from the readings, as well as everything we've learned within this unit. I'll repeat this mantra several times. So you don't want to make your user think, as you want to make the website should make the process as effortless as possible. So keep that in mind. What could facilitate the process and make it easier to navigate? Discuss flaws in navigation, the layout, the color, the font, the legibility. Can the tasks be accomplished within 3 clicks? If not, what could be revised in order for that to happen? And use specific examples that are clearly illustrated by labeled images. So you're going to include screen captures, like I said, of the website, and then include pointers and arrows that correspond to the flaws that you have identified. And make sure that your flaws relate back to your user and their goals. And this is where the user persona will be helpful. This is where, when I'm reviewing your work, I'll see whether the characteristics that are associated to the user persona and what the user persona hopes to accomplish are directly influencing this section of the proposal. Now you'll notice that the proposal itself is weighted the most. So the proposal includes the recommendation that a usability test be run or be implemented. You need to explain why usability tests are important, and this is where you'll refer back to Krug and his ideas, and you'll explain what a usability test is, what is the objective of one. In your proposal, explain which tasks you will specifically test, Like, which are the most important tasks you think should be tested? And then make it clear where you're going next. So what, after you gain more insight to how the website should be redesigned, like, then offer a proposal of what should be done after the usability test is conducted. Now, document design. So the design of the document includes careful attention to color, to headings, to visual hierarchy, basically. The document is scannable, and we've learned about scannability quite a bit, so I'll move on. The document is visually appealing, and the document is uniform. And last, the writing quality. So the writing is clear and direct, and document is free from spelling and grammatical errors. Unfortunately for this assignment, there will be no peer review, so keep that in mind. If you find peer review important, which it is, and you find it helpful, keep in mind that the OU Writing Center is available. So you can go there during the summer. You can email them your work. If you email them with sufficient time, I believe it's like 2-3 days that you have to email them before you need your document back. If you have that time, then use that resource. And also, I'm a resource too, so if you would like for me to look at your proposal, send it my way in a timely manner, of course, not an hour or two. So actually, I'll say this. You would need to send me your proposal 24 hours before it's due in order for me to be able to get back to you in a timely manner. Like I said at the beginning of this video, if you have any further questions about what the prompt is asking you to accomplish, please email me, let me know. Thank you for listening.